Hi guys, I'm Jackie O. Welcome back to another Fix It Friday video. Okay, so let's talk about the important things in life. Are you sick and tired of putting on eyeshadow and being like, where did it go? Where is it? What happened to the disappearing eyeshadow? Why can't I see my eyeshadows when I'm putting on eyeshadows, huh? If that's you, girl, you just have a seat. This video is for you. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite tips and favorite ways to get eyeshadows to show up vibrantly on darker pigmented eyelids. This is something I've always had a problem with. And I would notice that because my eyelids were darker, when other people would put on eyeshadows, they would be like, pow! But I just noticed I've always had to find ways to tweak eyeshadows so that they would actually show up on my skin tone. I don't think it's so much that because we're dark that eyeshadows have a hard time showing up. I just think that because one part of the face is darker than the other, when you try to put on your shadows up against your normal skin tone, it just kind of gets lost and faded away. So I feel like I've come up with a pretty easy system. Back in the day, I used to actually use concealer, and concealer worked really well for me, but I stopped doing that for two reasons. One, I started noticing the creamier and thicker the consistency of the concealer is, it would cover really well and it would even out the eyelids amazingly. But because the concealer was so thick and because the concealer was so opaque, it would mix in with the eyeshadows. So, or like if I used like a cream eyeshadow base, it would totally kind of like mute out or take away from the shadow. So I just stopped doing that. The second thing that I noticed is if you do the opposite and you use a concealer that's got less coverage or that's lighter in like consistency, it wouldn't cover at all. So I'd be like, okay, so use a full coverage concealer and you've got different color eyeshadows, or use a lighter in consistency concealer and it just defeats the whole purpose. So what do? Well, I've noticed that it's pretty effective if you just skip concealer altogether, and this is my favorite thing to do on the channel, but color correct. You use it for dark circles, you use it for dark marks. Why not use it for dark eyelids? It's freaking genius, and it doesn't matter the consistency of how thin or how thick the color corrector you use, because it's going to correct. It's the job. Its job is literally to balance out. So if you use something that's thin or watery in consistency, you're still going to see an overall improvement on that eyelid. Hence, having a blank, even canvas to start with, and it'll just be, your eyeshadows will be vibrant and your eyeshadows won't get lost into the discoloration in the eyelids. Here I'm actually demonstrating. This is one eye where you can see I'm color correcting and I'm evening it out, and it actually looks good enough to be worn on its own. You can even just do this when, you know, on your no makeup looks where you don't want to wear a ton of makeup, but you just want everything to kind of be evened out and fresh. You can do that to just kind of give the eyes an overall refreshed look. On the opposite eye, you'll see I haven't really color corrected, and to be honest with you guys, this is not something that I feel the need to do every single day, because I personally don't think that there's a humongous difference, but you can kind of see the eyeshadows don't go on as vibrantly. Sometimes they may appear a little ashy on the skin depending on what colors you use. Now, again, this is not something that I do with my everyday makeup routine, especially if you're going to wear a dark eyeshadow look. There's no need to color correct if you're going to put dark eyeshadows on top of it. It's completely like, it just defeats the purpose. But when you're wearing your lighter color shadows, especially your frostier shadows, kind of like the eye look that I have on now, you obviously want to create a better even canvas so that they will show up as vibrant as possible. So here's a side-by-side comparison of what that looks like. And that's pretty much my tip on how I get eyeshadows to show up on darker eyelids, darker skin in general. I really hope that you guys find today's Fix It Friday video helpful, and it's pretty quick, pretty simple, very easy. And now you can play around with it and test it out and find different ways and see if you find this method helpful. If not, then you can just punch me in the face. No, I'm just kidding. If you find this video helpful and all of my other Fix It Friday videos helpful, please be sure to check them out here. I'm going to leave links so you can see some other topics that I've talked about on this series. Please subscribe on your way out if you have not already. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big whopping thumbs up. I will see you guys at tomorrow's video. Bye!